Anime!
What we do here is go back.
Hey, what's up, guys? Josh is thefilminformer here, back in front of the camera. I know you guys probably were not expecting this, but here I am. I do apologize. I've been moving around the house a lot, trying to find somewhere to be comfortable in front of the camera. Not my ideal dream setup, but it does work, so we are gonna roll with this. I want to start doing a lot more personal conversation type videos like this, where I can just sit down and have a conversation about a certain topic. And today that is anime. So yeah, anime. I haven't talked about anime before on this channel. I brought up Hunter x Hunter once, I believe, in a certain video. Anime is something that I love. I've come to love it over the last 2 years. I know I am a baby weeb. Trust me, I have paid the price. I am putting in time and watching all of the greatest animes. And we'll see if you agree with me when I say that these are some of the greatest animes. And obviously my opinion is completely invalid because I'm new here. But the shows I have watched and enjoyed, I've fallen in love with. And today I'm just going to go through every anime I've watched. It's not a very long list. Talk about each one a little bit. And yeah, that's what we're doing today. Before I get started, I want to say that I never had anything against anime. Maybe in high school I judged a few people for being weebs, but forgive me, because I've learned I'm a better person now. Yeah, so honestly, I think anime just flew over my head, and I wish I would have started watching it at a younger age. I am very jealous of all of my friends who talk about the memories of waking up early to watch anime or staying up late to watch anime or whatever. I can't relate. For me, it was Halo and Bible Man. So my first anime, the one to pop my cherry, was Neon Genesis. I love Neon Genesis. As a fan of the visual medium of television, I was blown away by the cinematography and the artwork in this show. The visuals are breathtaking. From the first episode all the way up until the third to last episode are gorgeous. And the last two episodes, complete trash. But we'll get to that later. So right off the bat, the thing that really caught my eye was the visuals. Shinji is a little twat. So I wasn't exactly in love with his character, but I don't think that's the point. You're not really supposed to like Shinji. He's not a great guy. He's not a great person. He fucks up all the time. And later on in anime, I would discover that the lead characters usually are the most lovable little fuckers ever. So looking back to Neon Genesis, after having experienced more shows, having a character who's constantly messing up and unable to connect with anyone really creates this introspective dimension where anyone who's ever been depressed, which is everyone can relate to Shinji through this time in their lives that they've experienced, because he's just the ultimate depressed character. And considering the circumstances of the world Neon Genesis creates, it's understandable. Everyone should be depressed. It's the end of the world. The fighting was fun. I was never in it for the fighting, but I enjoyed it, right? I kind of looked forward to the end of the episode fights. No complaints with that. There's so much to talk about with this show. I can't even do a good job. I suck at this. But you should watch Neon Genesis. Not if it's your first anime. I don't think that it's the best anime for everyone's first time. I think it might turn some people off. But if you haven't watched it yet and you like anime, the fuck are you doing? It's a classic, man. It's a classic. I don't even have a right to say it's a classic, and it's a fucking classic, okay? Also, Misato was my first waifu. Big crushing on her. Cowboy Bebop is a fucking masterpiece. Cowboy Bebop is amazing. I think that everyone in the world should watch this show because it's just that well made. There is no other TV show I can think of that successfully does what Cowboy Bebop does episode to episode, which is create very non-linear storylines that are self-contained in each episode, creating new worlds each episode, new characters every episode, while slowly and intimately developing the main characters' relationships with each other, as well as us coming to understand their backstory. And that development, that character development, creates such an intimate bond with the characters. I honestly think the entire cast, right, the main 4 and the dog too, all right, the main 5 are single-handedly my favorite ensemble of characters ever. I can't recommend this enough. It's poetic. It's cinematic wonder. I haven't even finished it because I don't want to. I'm probably 4 episodes from the last, and I just haven't watched it for months. I think I'm just going to restart the whole damn thing, especially before Netflix's original comes out, which they better do a good job, all right? If the Netflix live-action remake or whatever the fuck sucks. The third anime I watched is probably the one I have fallen in love with the most. It's also the only anime that I've already restarted watching. Hunter x Hunter is the GOAT. Gon is so damn lovable that it is infuriating when he does what he does, which is never say no. All right, Gon never gives up. Even when he should most definitely give up, he's just like, nah, bro, nah. Hunter x Hunter does this thing where the villains are the most badass, awesome characters ever. Every villain in this show is memorable. Hisoka? What? Hisoka's crazy. Hisoka is at the same time the creepiest, weirdest motherfucker, as well as the most badass, awesome dude ever. I love his character. He's so well done. The art style, his whole outfit, uniform, whatever. 10 out of 10. So like the Hunter exams, right? I watched that whole arc in one sitting because I was so content with watching Gon experience this adventure and meet all these wonderful characters, these wonderful, colorful characters that are so memorable. Killua, badass. At first, I will say he's a little tit, and he is a tit, but once you come to understand his background, you come to love him and you understand him. And by the end of the show, he is probably the best character. Being the first shonen that I watched, I wasn't ready for the crazy amount of development in the characters. And when Nen was introduced, my heart-on got so much harder, okay? The logic behind the show is wonderful. There's always an explanation for everything, and the power dynamic doesn't suffer because of it. At the beginning of the show, you think, wow, these guys are strong, and by the end of the show, you realize everything in the beginning was just poopy because it becomes so much more badass by the end of the show. But after having watched another shogun, which we'll talk about more later, I can understand that Hunter x Hunter really can't be classified in that category because it breaks those lines, right? Gon is not the strongest character. It's clear in the power dynamic that Gon can't stand a chance against a number of people. Now, because I love this show so much, I think I also can offer a little critique. It may not be valid, but it's my personal opinion. I thought the Chimera Ant arc started off a little bit slow. Kind of lost me for a little while, considering I was binging the show. Probably 2 weeks in, I hit the Chimera Ant arc, and then that single arc took me probably a whole month to get through. In the long run, it was worth it, and I really respect what they did with all these new characters, and I think my second watch, which I'm doing right now, I'm really excited to get there. I'm really excited to get to understand that arc a little bit better. But at first, it's a bit jarring when this whole time you're following Gon, you're following Gon's friends, and now we're stuck with ants for complete episodes. Again, it's worth it. It leads up to the single fucking craziest climax of any show ever. I hope it's not the last climax because I want the show to go on. I want to know what happens. I'm so excited. There can be so much more, and I'm really looking forward to it. Hunter x Hunter, I love you. After finishing Hunter x Hunter, which for me was a very big thing, finishing my first 100+ episode anime, I wanted to dial it back a little bit and watch something that could be consumed a little quicker. So, of course, I watched Death Note because it's classic and it's awesome. It's awesome. I've said awesome so many times in this video. It's crazy. The person who recommended Death Note told me that it's this type of show you're just not going to want to stop. And he was right. Once you get into that show after the first 3 episodes, it's hard to put down. The end of every episode leads directly into another conflict, and you just always want to know what happens. So I binged the hell out of it. Finished it very quickly. If I had to critique that show, I would say that the first half was much better than the second half. The battle of wits between Light and L is so addicting and so much fun that when it's over, which ends very dramatically and is a very well done part of the show, not critiquing that, but moving on with the counter to Light, I don't think the second character was as strong. I don't even remember his name off the top of my head. I know it's not L, but it sort of is L. If you've watched the show, you know what I mean. Death Note also is where I fell in love with my second waifu, Miss Anime. You are a babe. Towards the end of Death Note, I was pretty toasted one night and decided to start Kill la Kill. Whoa! Kill la Kill is by far the weirdest anime that I've talked about so far. Still haven't finished it because it's just, I have to be in the right mood to watch that show. If you know who Edgar Wright is, Kill la Kill is the Edgar Wright of anime. Okay, the energy, the adrenaline is constantly flowing, all right? Every cut, every scene is just in your face, over the top, and at times it's phenomenal. It's so much fun, but if you're not in the mood, it can be exhausting. So I feel like for that reason I haven't finished it, but I'm very entertained by it. Slight recommendation. I can't recommend it to everyone because it's weird and it's the kind of anime you don't want to watch with your mom. Not that you'd watch any anime with your mom, but if she's into that sort of stuff, give her my number. Then I decided to sack up and introduce anime to my girlfriend, which I was very scared to do because she said she would never watch anime. So I was facing very insurmountable odds, and the anime won. Yeah! I was asking around to my anime buddies, my weeby friends, what anime would be good. I'm sorry. What anime would be awesome to watch with Caitlin? And the very trusted fellow by the name of Fuck Remel told me to watch Promised Neverland. And he based that on the fact that we like horror. We like thrillers, and based off of that, we really freaking enjoyed it. Because it was so short of a show, I don't think it was overwhelming going into it with Caitlin. And after the first episode, we were hooked because it's intense, the stakes are high, and you're just dealing with these cute little kids who are facing death. And that's intense. It's hard not to watch. It's hard not to care. No one's like, I don't care what happens to these kids. Freaking get eaten by monsters. Damn. I mean, some people probably do that. But we ate the hell up out of that show. That did not sound right. We really enjoyed it. It was awesome. Super excited for season 2. After that, I had a couple late nights with High School DxD. Not much more to say there. But after I finished Death Note and Promised Neverland, I felt tired. And I took a break. And after that one-day break, I started Castlevania, which is amazing. All 3 seasons are incredible. But there's one single episode, which is titled The Harvest. The Harvest is the single greatest episode of any show I've ever watched. Yeah. You don't have to even want to sort of like anime to enjoy Castlevania. It's gorgeously animated. The cast is phenomenal. The voice acting is amazing. Writing, world building, everything. And even if you're just watching it to build to that single episode, it's worth it. During Castlevania, I also watched the End of Evangelion, which was the actual deserved ending for Neon Genesis. I enjoyed it. I'm still sort of confused about the whole show. I definitely think it's worth a rewatch, and I want to go back and sort of truly understand this crazy storyline. But I'm just happy that they fulfilled that promise, right, and brought us that movie. There's actually another movie, I forget what it's called, but it's in that same world, some more detail. I'll probably end up watching that too when I get back to it. And speaking of anime movies, there are anime movies for pretty much every one of these shows I've talked about, besides Castlevania and maybe Death Note, there's a movie, which I think is cool. I haven't actually watched any of them besides End of Evangelion, but I'm really interested to see what they're about, especially the Hunter x Hunter movies. I need to do that. Why am I just thinking about that now? After Castlevania was over, I was ready to get back into something juicy, something 100+ episodes, and I picked a long one. I picked Naruto, and Naruto is awesome. Naruto is the shonen that made me realize Hunter x Hunter is not actually a shonen, because Naruto is overpowered as the fuck. He's so strong. Anytime Naruto has to kick it into high gear, the show is at the peak of everything. It's a fucking mountain, and it's beautiful. Naruto is so emotional. Not him. He's actually struggling with that. Naruto's a sweet guy, all right? Don't get me wrong, but the writing and the loss of innocence, the friendships, the giving your life for your comrade, all of that just breaks me down. The stakes and tensions in the show are high thanks to, again, another very well laid out combat logic, ninjutsu, jitsu, all that stuff. Badass. I don't think it's as tight or as full of logic as Hunter x Hunter is. They don't explain everything as much, but with that considered, the Naruto battles go off. The best Hunter x Hunter battle, and then the best Naruto battle. You know, it's like that. You don't really care as much about the logic because you're so busy with the emotion of everything. I'm super, super excited to start Shippuden. It's not on any of the services I have currently, so that sucks. I was gonna download it and put it on a USB stick, but I left my USB in Colorado, which I was at about a week ago now. But I somehow finished all of Naruto without starting another anime. Just yesterday, me and Caitlin started our second show together, which is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I know all the informed weebies out there are clapping with gratitude for me watching such a badass show. We're 3 episodes in, and I'm already addicted. I would be watching it right now if I didn't have an obligation to my girlfriend, for I have to wait for her to watch it, which sucks, because I want to know what happens. Just like Hunter x Hunter uses that simple line from Gon, talking about how his dad went to be a hunter, so being a hunter is so cool and so much better than being a dad that Gon wants to know what it's about, right? That simple premise, just following in his dad's footsteps. You want to know the whole show, what the fuck is up with his dad, right? And I kind of am getting that same vibe from Full Metal Alchemist, where the long run, the long haul, which is not a very long show, but I'm guessing you're not going to get this resolution. But I'm guessing there will be no resolution for this particular plot until the end of the show, and that is the brother's body and the body of the Full Metal Alchemist. Can they recover themselves? I don't know, but I already want to know. So yeah, anime is just really well written, and I love good writing, and so it was so easy for me to fall in love with this whole world, and I'm so excited to just keep diving into shows. I'm sure there are many of you anime fans out there who have watched way more than I have, and you have so many shows that you want to recommend. So please comment and recommend shows. I need to fill up a watch list so that I can just dive into everything amazing. Another show I watched that I completely forgot about until this very moment was Pong. I think it's called Pong or Ping Pong. That one was really fucking cool. Thank you guys for watching. This has been a lot of fun just sitting here rambling. I hope my camera's still recording, because if not, fuck. Yeah, I'm really digging this like informal style. This is really relieving, considering the amount of stress I put myself in to create clean, well-made, accessible videos that anyone could watch, right? I don't think this video is like that. Maybe it will be like that. I don't know, but I'm usually sort of a hard ass, I have a tight butthole. I think that's the correct term when it comes to my videos. I like to make videos that are clean and flow well, and this video doesn't seem like it's gonna do that, but it's still a lot of fun. And I want to put more content out. I love how my channel is growing. It's so exciting, and because of that, I'm gonna do more more of this, right? Just have more fun, more talk about what I love to talk about. And that's what I plan to do. See you next time. Let's go, boy.